If I had the ability to say, look, college is a scam for this and this and this and this and this reason, which I can do now, then my parents would be like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but what are you gonna do? They just want to know that you're gonna have a plan and that you're gonna be happy and that you're going to be okay. What's good, bro? So, recently I made a decision that most people probably wouldn't make. And here's what I did. I decided to leave my full-time job as a salesperson to pursue something else. And the reason why is because I've been reading books on a daily basis. Not necessarily reading one book a day, but I've been reading a lot more. And what I've realized is that there's so much opportunity, and it's more than what they're letting you on, more than what they're telling you is available to you. So whenever I would talk to some of my managers, I remember one time I called my manager, his name's Jordan, and I talked to him on the phone for like 30 minutes. And we were just chatting, and I'm telling him about how I'm thinking about doing something else, Jordan. I don't really know about this job. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, okay. He's like, well, what else are you gonna do? And I'm telling him, well, I'm thinking about, I just said like drop shipping to see what his response would be. And he said, yeah, I'm aware of drop shipping. Like, niggas don't make money. Like, people don't make money in drop shipping. Like, okay. But every time I would suggest something like, have you ever heard somebody, I would ask him, I said, have you ever heard of somebody leaving Sunrun and doing well with their life? And he just said, no, never heard of it. It's just unheard of to me. Every time somebody leaves Sunrun, their life just goes like, whew. So I remember I had my friend in the car. After a little while, he was hearing the conversation. He was just like, hang up that phone. And I was like, you know what? You're right. Because they're gonna try to sell you on the vision and the dream that they have. That's their job as people that manage people. One of my friends used to work at a restaurant, and when he was at the restaurant, they would always tell him, look, where else are you gonna make this kind of money? What kind of a restaurant do you know that makes this much money on the daily? And this guy would just be like, yeah, you're right. No other restaurant you can make this much money. And perhaps it was true. But they keep you in this bubble of thinking, well, what else is out there? There's probably not much. This is the best thing. That's the only reason why I can think of anybody would work in a restaurant. I used to work at Starbucks. I thought that was the best opportunity available to me. I had no idea that while I was working at Starbucks, people were making $20,000 checks selling solar. That never occurred to me. And I realized that you don't see opportunities until you open your mind to them. And I realized this when I was leaving my old job, my most previous job as a recess coach, where I would literally be at recess coaching these kids and teaching them how to play games and things like that. It was fun, but you don't make that much, right? And so the school year ends, and now it's summertime. And when it was summertime was the only time I actually got to think about, what am I doing here? I know I want to make more money than I'm currently making. I know I want to be able to leverage more than I currently have. I know I want more leverage, right? So what? I need something else. I need a better skill. I need to develop myself in a way that I haven't before. And so that's when I opened my mind up to sales. And I thought, well, if what I'm doing right now isn't getting me what I want, which is a certain level of income with a certain amount of effort, then I need to figure something else out. And this is what you should be doing. You should be asking yourself the questions of, how can I make more money? What can I do? Where is the opportunity right now? And it really seems to me that the opportunity is somewhere online. The real world is cool. The real world is great. Trust me, it is. But you will experience the most growth online because of the fact that we live in a globalized marketplace. If you can become good at something and put it online and teach people how to do it, or gain some kind of a reputation, then you will do so much better than you would do starting a brick and mortar business. So what you need to consider is this: how can I transform myself? How can I attract the wealth that I deserve in a different way that I'm currently doing, in a different way than what I'm used to? Because a lot of people, I see them going to college, and I don't blame them, because a lot of parents put pressure on people. And I was fortunate that my parents didn't put that much pressure on me to go. They would ask me every once in a while, like, hey, when are you going back? But I realized that eventually I realized that college is a scam. And I wish more people could actually internalize this information. Sam Evans says, if you want to be an entrepreneur, don't go to college. If you're an entrepreneur and you're in college, leave. So, the truth is that college does not help you become whatever you want to become, unless it's a very small and specific set of jobs, right? You have doctors, lawyers, people that are in the medicine field, engineers, things of that nature where there's no other way other than a degree to get what you want. 90% of people are leaving school, having graduated or otherwise, and they're not even using what they used in college. So now I wonder, what was even the point? Well, the point is that somebody made money off of this. They benefited while you suffered, because all you did was get a bunch of grades. Meanwhile, other people are out here preparing themselves in the real world. I left college, came home, got depressed, went to work, woke up early, smoked, played video games. I did so much that I needed to get out of the way that I'm so grateful I didn't go back to college, because I would be doing that right now still. Don't you get it? The time to wake up is now. The time to do what's important is now. If you save it for tomorrow, it never gets done. Procrastination is not only the thief of time, procrastination is the thief of life. So when you put off the suffering that the real world has in store for you, so that you can delay it with college, you still end up suffering. It just happens a little later on. You still have to adjust to the real world. It just happens a little later on. And so, I'm not advocating anything, but I am advocating you being an independent thinker. Because when my parents would pressure me to go back to college, I would tell them, yeah, I'm thinking about it. But the truth was that I had no intention of going. I just didn't know how to articulate it. If I had the ability to say, look, college is a scam for this and this and this and this and this reason, which I can do now, then my parents would be like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but what are you gonna do? They just want to know that you're gonna have a plan and that you're gonna be happy and that you're going to be okay. And to them, that form of okay comes in, I hope he's in college, I hope he's learning. If you're absorbing the right information, of course you're learning. If you're not out here going out every weekend, of course you're learning. If you're out here in the gym, of course you're learning. A lot of people aren't. I think one of the best indicators of somebody that's going to be successful is somebody that realizes that they have to be a lifelong learner. And that's not something that I'm saying myself, it's something that I've been reading. All of the books are telling me, look, you need to keep learning. You need to continuously and forever be learning something. It's not the degree that counts. The learning begins once you leave college. The learning begins once you get the diploma and you put it on your wall. It doesn't begin with college. A lot of people think that it ends with college. It begins after. Welcome to the real world. Peace.